Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series. I've been wanting to do like a new series for a while, and this is just going to be sort of an experiment. I'm just going to see how this goes, and if it goes really well, and people like it, then I will turn it into a series. So what this is the Pokemon version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who Wants to Be a Poke-dollar Millionaire? I don't know, I just kind of whipped that one out. Of course, for those of you who know what happens in this game show, there is a contestant who has to answer questions and stuff. And my contestant today is Dax. Say hello.
What's up, YouTube? Daxdleader here. That was a powerful cringe on my part. I apologize.
Alright, so just because this is like the first episode or ever, I'm just going to explain how this works. So, you have 15 questions, you answer all 15 correctly, you get a million, in this case, Poke-dollars, which we're going to store in an offshore account that it might not be able to transfer to Sword and Shield, we don't know yet, but we're just going to store it in an offshore account should you end up winning. But so for each question, you earn a certain dollar amount. And once you reach certain points, like if you answer the first 5 questions correctly, you reach a threshold where you cannot lose any money after that. But if you get a question wrong, you lose all money that you've gained since the previous threshold. If that makes sense.
I think I got it.
So like, if you answer the first 5 questions correctly, you're at $1,000. At that point, you are guaranteed $1,000, like no matter what. Like you get question 6 wrong.
Like a checkpoint.
Yeah. You get question 6 wrong.
I got you. Okay.
You go away with 1,000. Okay. So now, what you have the option to do is walk away at any point. So say you get question 5 right, you're at $1,000. Question 6 is literally impossible. Like you cannot figure it out. That's not really a good example, but say you're on question 8 where you have like $2,000 or $4,000. If you get it wrong, you go back to 1,000 and that's what you walk away with. But if you walk away at the question, then you keep whatever, like you keep like the 2,000 that you have. Cool. But then like, so like sometimes it's strategic to walk away, like if you don't know the answer.
If I really don't know. We'll see.
And then, however you do, I'm gonna make it like a leaderboard, so people who come on, so people who I record this with later, like I'm gonna have a leaderboard at the end of every episode, and that's gonna show like how people have stacked up like over time versus each other. So that's the way that I can like make the money worth something, I guess.
Yeah, too bad money isn't actually worth anything in Pokemon.
But we're gonna figure out a way to get it to transfer to Sword and Shield. We're gonna get it. But but for now, we're just gonna go into it. And then you also have 3 lifelines, which are sort of like hints, but each hint works in a different way. If that makes sense. So one of them is 50-50. It eliminates 2 incorrect answers, so you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. And then
all of them are multiple choice.
They're all multiple choice. All of them have 4 multiple choice. You have a 25% chance to get every single question right, just out of pure guessing. But the second lifeline is it's usually called +1, but we're calling it DM a friend in this case. You DM one friend and you can have their help on this question. And then the third one is ask the audience. So you're going to post the question in a Discord server of your choice, and you can get people's polls from that.
Oh, can I do like the Draft Frontier Showdown server?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Okay. You can do that. Alright, and I think that's it. I think we can just get into it. Okay, so I believe I have a warm-up question at the start.
Okay.
Alright, so warm-up question. What is Pikachu's most common move in the anime?
The anime.
Well, there goes my spelling.
All right.
It's totally professional. Why are the answers not? Nope. Nope. Okay. We're already having technical failures. Okay, there we go. There we go. Is it A, thunderstorm, B, thunderbolt, C, thunder smash, or D, thunder swallow?
It's Thunderbolt. I thought I was gonna have to guess like which of the moves that Pikachu has used appears the most often. I was still pretty sure it was Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah,
But, like-
absolutely. This is just a warm-up question.
I'm like, it's not Volt Tackle, is it? Okay.
No, and there you go. B is the correct answer. Okay. So here is the leaderboard, or not really leaderboard, but this is with a board with all of the money and stuff. And so there we go, all the way to 1 million, 15 questions to get you to 1 million. And the little diamonds next to the numbers are your...
checkpoints.
Yep, those are your checkpoints. So we're going to start out at 100, and the questions get increasingly harder as you go. Or at least in my opinion, they do. You might be like an anime expert and have seen every single episode of the anime, and you'll get all those questions right, but...
I am probably the least knowledgeable person. I watched a lot of it, like, you know, as a kid, but like, I feel like unlike a lot of people, I have literally watched like zero intentionally since I was maybe 10 years old.
Okay, a lot of the harder questions are actually anime based. So what the questions cover, it covers in-game data, so like moves, abilities, in-game
Great,
mechanics.
I'm fine with that.
And then it can cover anime, or it can also cover the movies.
Okay.
That is a thing it can cover.
Alright.
It will not cover anything Pokemon Go related.
Good.
Okay.
Because I just haven't played those straight up. Alright, let's go.
Okay. Which Pokemon was intended to be the original mascot of the franchise? A. Raichu, B. Meowth, C. Sandshrew, D. Clefairy.
It's Clefairy, dude. This is what I do.
Oh, by the way, a thing that they do in the show is
Yeah,
when you
when
want to confirm your answer or you want to use a lifeline, you say this answer or I want to use this lifeline, final answer. And that's when that gives me the message that okay, that's what you're doing. You
Yeah,
can't go
got it.
back. So you're saying D final answer?
D final answer.
Correct. It is D Clefairy. So yeah, Ash was originally intended to have Clefairy in the anime.
I think their logic for not doing that is because like they wanted a more gender neutral type of thing.
That makes
Like
sense.
Clefairy just looks so like I can't see. Like I don't know, it just doesn't work, dude. Like Ash being like, "Oh yeah, let's go get him, Clefairy."
But I still see where they could have had like the evolution issues, because the big thing about Pikachu is that he's choosing not to evolve it. But
Yeah.
so I still see like, oh, they could have easily done that like evolution stuff with Clefairy. I think Clefairy could have worked. But okay, second question. Second question. Which of these is not a status ailment in the main series games? A. Burn, B. Poison, C. Scare, D. Sleep.
It's C, scare, final answer. Wouldn't you, even if that was a thing, like you'd call it fear. Scare is not a condition, it's a verb.
Yeah, so fun fact, Scare actually is a status condition, but it's a status condition in Fossil Fighters.
Oh. Alright.
So,
Imagine if like every ghost type attack that hit you, you would just like have a 50% chance not to attack on the next turn. So just like run away from the battle. That would be broken.
well, what Scare does is you can't use any attacking moves. It's basically like an inverse taunt.
For any of you aspiring pro Fossil Fighters players out there, this is the part of the video you should be listening to.
Alright, question number 3. We are just breezing through these early game questions. Canonically, which is the only Pokemon at this point capable of time travel? A. Jirachi, B. Meloetta, C. Suicune, D. Celebi.
Alright, so I think I know where you're going with this. And I'm gonna say D, Celebi. Final answer.
And yeah, that's if you have ever read up on any of these Pokemon, you know that Celebi is like the major time traveler.
Right, it is, but there is like Jirachi can technically do anything, right?
Because it's a wish granter, kind of. But like in the
I mean, I did see the movie, and what Jirachi did in the movie, it would wish for stuff to appear. It was like objects only, kind of, from what I remember.
That makes sense.
That would be like straight up time travels.
All right, now I might have to cut this part out, but I forget what this star does down here. I have that for some reason. I'm gonna click that. Okay, and it just displays how much you got. Okay, so you are at 300. Okay.
How much I am at, or how much I just got?
That's how much you just got. So right now you have.
I'm at 600.
Or no, it's not cumulative. It's not cumulative.
Oh, it's not cumulative. Oh, I see. That makes sense.
So right now you have 300. If you get question 4 wrong, you walk away with 0.
Okay.
So question 4. Outside of illuminating dark areas, what else does the move Flash do? A. Lower accuracy. B. Lower evasion. C. Boost your special attack. Or D. Boost your special defense.
It A. lowers accuracy. Violence.
And yep, you got it. No need for lifelines or anything. All right.
I just had to like take a second and like, because the way it's phrased on like, if you like go to, what is it? It's either on Smogon or on Showdown or whatever. It's all this like affects target or affects self. I'm thinking of like Cerebi and Bulbapedia. That's where you get all this complicated lingo of like who you're actually hitting and like all this crazy stuff. So I actually was too smart for that question. That's what happened.
Alright, question 5. Couldn't find my cursor there for a second. 1,000. If you get this question right, you guaranteed walk away with 1,000. You guaranteed walk away with something if you get this right.
Yeah.
Okay. In Pokemon Origins, so the first anime question, Red discovers how to Mega Evolve his Charizard during the final battle of the show. Which battle is it? A versus Mewtwo, B versus Dragonite, C versus Mega Blastoise, or D versus Mega, or I almost said Mega again. D versus Gengar.
Now, this is something I haven't seen. I do know that there is a Mega Charizard versus Mewtwo fight in like either Origins or that other semi-non-canon anime thingy. I'm gonna go with.
You do still have all 3 lifelines.
I know. How hard are these gonna get?
In my opinion, they get increasingly harder from here, but that is me.
Like significantly harder than this, or like?
Because
I think I have a very educated guess.
See, I stacked the questions to where the threshold questions are slightly harder than the questions that follow, but generally as they go up, they get harder.
Alright. Okay, I'm not gonna use a lifeline, I'm gonna go with a Mewtwo final answer.
If I had the music, I would play it, but we're not at that point yet. You are correct. It is nice. A versus Mewtwo.
Okay. I was like 90% sure that was a fight. I was not sure that was like the final episode.
Yep.
It makes sense that it would be though.
Final episode, final fight. So, fun fact, the other most logical option in my opinion was Mega Blastoise. He never actually fights Mega Blastoise in the whole show. He never fights it. He just becomes the champion.
Oh. Isn't there like a regular Blastoise at one point?
Yeah, it's regular Charizard versus regular Blastoise, and then he discovers how to Mega Evolve during the Mewtwo fight.
Okay.
Alright, so question 6. You basically have a free shot at this, because even if you get it wrong, you still go away with 1,000. You have a free shot at this question. Which Pokemon was the first to receive its own unique battle theme Basically definition that a theme that no other Pokemon has in battle. Is it A, Mewtwo, B, Deoxys, C, Arceus, or D, Giratina?
Ask like a specification question.
Yes? It depends
So
on...
we're talking like the original game that this Pokemon was in, right?
We are talking the main series games.
Main series. Okay, that changes things.
So like...
Yeah.
So like... Mewtwo's... So like... Because Mewtwo comes like first...
I think I know what.
Leaf... Like Fire Red and Leaf Green... Like if it... I don't know if it received its own theme there... But like, or yeah, I think Mewtwo, that's where he got his theme. So like, yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green is where Mewtwo got his theme.
Okay. So then, in that case, yeah, the answer is B, Deoxys. Final answer.
You are just acing through this. Deoxys
Yeah.
did get its own battle
my,
theme.
Well, I was thinking actually, Mewtwo has its own theme in Pokemon Stadium.
I did not know that, actually. But I'm talking main series, like Pokemon Stadium's not main series.
Right, and that's why I asked.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because GlitchXcity did the remix of it, and it's super good, so.
And also, fun fact, C. Arceus, that wasn't actually, that theme wasn't even playable until Gen 6. Like, people data mined it, and they found it in Gen 4, but because in Gen 4 you cannot legally obtain Arceus because they never gave out the Azure Flute, you couldn't technically experience the theme in the game without cheats until Gen 6.
Wow.
Yep. So you are at $2,000. You are absolutely just breezing through these. I expected you to use at least one lifeline by now.
Alright, yeah.
So, future reference, maybe make these questions a bit tougher.
Yeah.
But now we have an anime question. Which anime character said this quote? We have a lot in common, the same air, the same earth, the same sky. Maybe if we started looking at what's the same instead of what's different, who knows? Is it A, Brock, B, Meowth, C, Mewtwo, or D, Ash?
Believe it or... wait. Yeah, I know this. Believe it or not, I was lucky enough to go to like a total nerd school, so I had people use this as their yearbook quote. And the answer is B, Meowth. Final answer.
Yeah, I thought Mewtwo or Ash may trip you up, but
yeah,
no, you...
Maybe. It's a little bit too deep for Ash. And I know Mewtwo has a different, like, really good quote in that same movie, but it's not that one. This is like Meowth talking to clone Meowth, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so we are on to question 8. We are about halfway done, and you still have all 3 lifelines on the board. I definitely need to make these questions tougher in the future. But which type combination has the fewest resistances to its combined stab attacks in the main series games? A, Ghost and Fighting, B, Water and Electric, C, Ghost and Dark, or D, Ice and Fire?
So Gen 7, right?
Yes, this is as of Gen 7.
And we're counting immunities as resistances? Or not?
Yes.
Okay. So... it is Ghost and Fighting, final answer.
Not getting tripped up at all. Dark and Ghost.
Alright.
So Ghost and Fighting, because of Marshadow, technically has no resistances because Fighting hits Dark and Normal. Dark and Ghost both are resisted by Dark. Water and Electric both are resisted by Grass. And Ice and Fire both are resisted by Water. So you have 8,000 now, and all of your lifelines are still on the board. Question 9. This is to double your money. I think all of them have been to double your money. What is the only move outside Struggle that Smeargle cannot sketch? Is it A, Protect, B, Toxic Thread, C, Transform, or D, Chatter?
Again, I think I know this. Well, I've definitely seen sets suggest, like, I've seen, like, Smogon sets or something where, no, I don't know. It's not a toxic threat, is what I'm trying to say here.
Okay. You still have 3 lifelines.
The only move? I'd kind of be surprised if it was the only move.
It is in fact the only move. I double checked this to make sure I was accurate.
Okay. Alright, give me the 50-50.
Okay. This is your 50-50. First lifeline has been used.
Yeah.
It is either C, transform, or D, chatter.
And I'm gonna go with D, chatter.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, final answer.
You are correct.
Alright.
Alright.
I was hoping it would, that didn't actually help me. I was hoping it would remove transform, because that's the one I was debating.
Yep, it can sketch transform off a Ditto. It cannot sketch chatter because chatter works depending on your DS microphone, and so for some reason chatter cannot function outside of Chatot. It's just not coded.
Oh wait, hold on. How did?
In Gen 4, it functions off of your DS microphone, and for because the Nintendo DS's back in the day could record sounds.
Okay, yeah, but what would it do?
Or it would, when you send out Chatot, its initial cry would be whatever, like, voice you have, or whatever sound you have recorded on your DS, and then when you use chatter, I think it makes that sound. That's what I read. It could very well be wrong.
It's really funny. I can imagine, like, someone really having fun with that.
Yeah, well, it apparently, like, scrambles it or something. I don't know. That's just what I read.
I imagine, like, you just send out Chatot and just say, fuck you.
Yeah, I think it has something to prevent that. It has something. Okay.
My other problem with this, like, they didn't try to fix that in later games?
I don't know. That's just, I read that was a thing in Gen 4. Like, that's just a fun fact.
Yeah, I definitely did hear that somewhere, though. I had no idea why. I just knew that Smeargle, like, couldn't. I was pretty sure Smeargle couldn't sketch. Alright, cool.
Alright, so question 10. If you get this right, you are at the second threshold of $32,000. But I would arguably say your most helpful lifeline is off the board, because that immediately immediately makes your odds go way up.
Yeah.
But question 10. According to Bulbapedia, which Pokemon is not an extraterrestrial? For definition, it is not found in outer space. Is it A, Deoxys, B, Guzzlord, C, Jirachi, or D, Elgium? Or Elgium. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that.
It's B, Guzzlord. Ultra Beasts are not aliens. They're from, like, different dimensions, which is not the same as outer space. Final answer. B, Guzzlord.
It's actually Jirachi.
Wow.
So...
Oh, alright.
It's actually...
I thought Jirachi was straight up from space.
Nope. According to Bulbapedia has a page on extraterrestrial Pokemon. Ultra Beasts do count as extraterrestrial because ultra space, like it's just the space word. So Guzzlord is an Ultra Beast, so it's from outer space. Deoxys you fight on the comet, that's the throwaway answer. And D. Elgium...
Elgium is also straight up an alien.
Yeah.
Jirachi's not from space. Where's Jirachi's just chilling here on Earth?
According to Bulbapedia, yes.
Oh. Okay then. I don't know why. You know what? I guess that I never really thought about where. I'm trying to think back to the movie, right?
That's because I've never seen the movie, so I googled several times. Like, is Jirachi like actually from space, or is Bulbapedia just leaving this out? And they're like, Jirachi like wakes up or whatever, and they didn't say where, so I assume it woke up on Earth, and like Max found it or something. And I'm like, okay, well I guess it's not it. The Other sources said it drew its power from the Millennium Comet, but it never said that it came from the Millennium Comet. Like, Jirachi itself came from the Millennium Comet.
Yeah. I was also trying to think, like, in-game, like, do you ever encounter Jirachi anywhere, but...
Nope.
It's always just kind of gifted to you, right?
It is always gifted to you. There was a rumor back in Gen 3 that after they released Deoxys, the thing to get it on Birth Island, I think? Or is that Mew? When they released the thing to give away...
Birth, you'd think Mew, right?
Yeah, they give away the locations, or like, I know Naval Rock is where you get Lugia. They send you to Naval Rock or whatever, so people speculated, because they knew that Jirachi was coded into the game, so they're like, oh, you know, there was this big rumor that you fight Jirachi on the moon. That is actually false. You never fight Jirachi on the moon.
Dang.
But that would have been really cool.
I guess everything Gen 3, like, Rayquaza, Deoxys is all, like, space-related, so I kind of just assume. But, yeah, alright. But
with two lifelines still on the board, you got... So let's see. So that was question 10. Okay, so you're at least walking away with 1,000. You're at least walking away with 1,000. Had you walked away on that question, just walked away like at face value, you would have walked away with 16.
Huh. Alright. I see how this works now. I mean, it's not like I didn't know how it worked. I was like, this really puts things in perspective.
Right. So, thank you for coming on the show. Like I said, we're gonna hopefully have more episodes of this with a wonderful cast of people. But for now, Dax, is there anything you would like to say before we leave?
Check out my YouTube channel. I'm very close to 50 subs. I'm at 47 right now, so I would really appreciate if you guys could help me hit that. And that's about it, really. Thanks for having me on, and I hope this series does well.
All right, thanks for coming on. But that's gonna be it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.